All right, today we are headed to a place called Castle Combe. So we did do a visit here before, several years ago. We visited Stonehenge, but neither of us remember much about it at all. So we're really kind of excited to revisit and, see all the things that we didn't get to see when we were here for a short time last time. So let's go ahead and head to Castle Combe. So the big draw to Castle Combe is going to be just the size. It is this tiny, small, beautiful village. And in fact, we ran into other Americans while we were here. So it does draw in a lot of tourists just to see such a cute little quaint rural village. For my literary connection this week, Raymond Austin's Find Me a Spy, Catch Me a Traitor is actually a fictional work that is set in Castle Combe. So while it is not an actual author from this area, it is kind of interesting. So if you're interested in reading a book that takes place here, again, that is called Find Me a Spy, Catch Me a Traitor. Okay, for lunch today, we pre-ordered from the Little Picnic Shop, and I want to show you this spread. She basically puts a picnic basket together for you. She was able to accommodate my gluten-free lunch, so Alex got regular, I got gluten-free, and I'm going to show you some close-ups of the food in just a second, but this was so much fun. We found a little bench in the park that we could go and sit and have a nice little lunch, but it included sandwiches, it included tarts, scone, muffin, everything. So everything was included in here, plus the tea. Really highly recommend this experience. It was delicious. So I want to start by addressing the missing castle that Castle Combe is named for. It no longer exists, but its original location was right past these gates. This is towards the manor house, which we weren't able to get in and see, which I was pretty disappointed by. But also, supposedly it is haunted by the Gray Lady. So if you get a chance to go see the Manor House Hotel, it looks really cool. Next, we're going to head into St. Andrew's Church, which, as you can see, had quite a bit of scaffolding going on. But this is an incredible, beautiful, just amazing, tiny little church. And there's something in here that is of particular interest. So I just wanted to show you the inside so that you get a chance to see that. But towards the back of the church, they have what is called the faceless clock. And this is a medieval clock that is dating back to the 15th century. And it is absolutely just the coolest thing ever. So it has no hands, it has a semicircular dial, and essentially it's still functioning. So it was a really cool thing to see. So I just kind of also wanted to show this back little area. I do remember when we saw this before and being very kind of enamored with this clock and the whole thing. So I definitely wanted to make sure that I got a chance to visit this again because it is very cool. And you can put 20p in that little back machine there, and you can actually make it up and illuminate, but unfortunately I couldn't find a coin anywhere. All right, next I want to show you the Market Cross. So this is the kind of the crossroads of the various street sections here, and it goes back to Castle Combe being a market town. So it dates back to the 14th century, and it is a beautiful kind of mascot. Now this is the Castle Inn, and we did not get to go in because it was very busy, but supposedly when you walk in immediately to the right, you'll see a window with the name Emmanuel E. scratched into the glass twice. Supposedly, he was a previous landlord who was fired and continues to haunt this building. So the window is said to be cursed because when he etched it, he put a curse on it. So I was really disappointed we didn't get a chance to go in and see it. This is called Water Lane, and this is a beautiful area that a lot of tourists like to visit. It's a perfect place for a photo. There's actually an artist here as well who sets up shop so you can peruse some of the local art portraits and see the various drawings that he was presenting. Well, it was he on this day, but was presenting. But it's just a beautiful little walk down this little canal, and it is really nice. So there was a lot of people that was gathering in this area, and even still, I felt like I had a moment to kind of check out and just kind of have a nice little stroll. The sun was reflecting off the water. It was really beautiful. Today we have two really cool pop culture call-outs. So the first is that the 2011 Steven Spielberg film War Horse was shot and filmed. There were scenes that were shot and filmed in Castle Combe. So you'll notice some things. I'm just kind of strolling along in some various sides of the village because some of these will probably be recognizable if you are a fan of either of these two films, which leads me to my second film, Dr. Dolittle. The Rex Harrison original Dr. Dolittle was filmed in Castle Combe, and honestly, I just felt like I had so many moments where I recognized some of the buildings and some of the shots, so I can't wait to watch both of these films again so I can kind of relive this. There are some really nice hiking areas or walking areas in Castlecombe. So I'm just going to kind of take you along this one little kind of out of the way path that we found. It goes over the bridge, and you'll see some of the picnic tables there. That was actually where we had our lunch earlier, but we actually came back here just to do a little walk. There was some sheep and some goats that were like randomly walking through this area. As you can see, there were other tourists going on these walks as well. But we just kind of followed the goats for a bit to see where they were going, because wherever is good enough for the goats for checking out some of the nature and walking, it's good enough for me. We also found some really interesting trees that have blatantly been here for quite a long time. So yeah, really good walks. Finally, the last thing I'd say don't miss is supporting local businesses. A lot of these are on the honor system. So as you can see, this local baker has got their baked treats out. They have some drinks. You can also place an order for coffee, but it is all on the honor system. So you leave the money and you take the baked goods. I love that. So do support small local business when you can. Well, that's it for my tour and explore of Castlecombe. So let me know in the comments down below if this is a place that you think you would like to visit. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!